Long before the rise of nations, the Lakota people roamed these sacred plains.
Here, life was bound to the buffalo, to the rivers, to the breath of the wind song, the heartbeat of the Lakota.
Through the wisdom of their elders, the Lakota traced their origins, not in conquest, but in harmony with the land.
From their youth, the Lakota learned to walk in silence, to read the earth, to follow the sacred trail of the buffalo. Every part of the buffalo was honored for shelter, for clothing, for survival. Nothing was wasted, for all was sacred. Before the hunt, they called upon the spirits as humas, for courage, for guidance, for the blessing of the buffalo nation. To ride with the buffalo was to ride with the heartbeat of the earth itself, a bond unbroken through generations. Each hunt was a trial of skill, of courage, where survival of the people rested upon the hunter's aim. The Lakota gave thanks to the buffalo nation, honoring its sacrifice, for in its death, the people lived. With the buffalo's gift, the Lakota rejoiced, feasting, dancing, giving thanks to the spirits for life renewed. The Lakota walked between worlds, calling upon the Great Spirit, whose voice rode upon the wind and fire. From the heights, the eagle came, messenger of the Great Spirit, guiding the Lakota toward their destiny. Visions were gifts, woven into the destiny of the people, carried from the spirit world into the living.
The Lakota followed the buffalo, guided by the stars, carried forward by the wind.
Skills of survival were passed from father to son, each lesson a thread in the tapestry of Lakota life.
With patience and artistry, women wove symbols of their people into every stitch, carrying stories upon their garments.
The horse became the Lakota's greatest ally, carrying them across the endless plains with the speed of the wind. Around the fire, stories lived, carrying the voices of ancestors into the hearts of the young. The heavens were their map, their guide to Sitch, each star a story, each constellation a lesson for the Lakota people.
From play came learning half. The games of children prepared them for the roles they would one day inherit.
The earth provided medicine for every wound, every illness, and the Lakota knew where to seek its healing gifts.
Every weapon was more than a tool. It was a promise of survival, forged with patience and skill. Through dance, the Lakota called upon the spirits, every step a prayer, every chant a bridge to the unseen.
The Lakota carried history not on paper, but in memory, every story a lifeline to their ancestors.
Upon their shields, the Lakota painted the spirits of protection ferts, symbols that bound warrior and spirit as one. The hides became the lifeblood of the village, shelter, clothing, protection, shaped by patient hands. The horse was not only a companion in battle, it was a sacred being, painted with prayers and guided by spirit. The sweat lodge cleansed body and spirit puris, a return to the womb of the earth, a prayer of renewal. In the lodge, they prayed fills, purging weakness, embracing strength, uniting with the Great Spirit in fire and steam. At first light, the Lakota offered prayers, to greet the day, to honor the Creator, to walk in harmony. Through countless hours of practice, the warrior became one with his bow, each arrow a promise fulfilled. From the hunt came sustenance, preserved with care, food that carried the Lakota through harshest winters. With paint, they carried the spirit of ancestors into battle, each line a vow, each color a prayer.
Around the council fire, wisdom spoke bound, guiding the people with voices of tradition and truth.
Before battle, man and horse became one khand, adorned with symbols of courage, bound together in spirit. When they rode, the earth trembled, their war cries echoing across the endless plains. Each battle was a storm, Mimis, fierce, unrelenting, a trial of strength and spirit. In the silence after battle, prayers rose for the fallen, their spirits carried to the great beyond. In mourning, the Lakota wept with the earth, their grief carried on the wind, their sorrow bound to spirit. To the Lakota, death was not an end but a return to the spirit world, where ancestors waited. Through prayer, smoke, and song, the Lakota sought healing phalanx, binding body and spirit as one. In dance, they remembered the varied, each step a tribute, each chant a call to honor the fallen. The Lakota knew their dead were not lost, but shining above in the Star Nation.
With patience and silence.
The hunt was a storm, thunder of hooves, cries of warriors, the earth itself trembling beneath their charge. Each strike was more than a kill. It was survival, a covenant between hunter and the Buffalo Nation. They gave thanks, for in its sacrifice the people would live ho, every breath a gift of the Buffalo Nation.
From the buffalo, life was renewed on. The village rejoiced, bound together in gratitude and unity.
To the Lakota, the stars were teachers, stories written in the heavens, guiding every step upon the earth.
Colors held meaning tied, every shade a prayer, every hue a memory stitched into the people's garments.
Through suffering and endurance, visions came soaring, gifts from the spirit world, shaping the path of the Lakota. Through bitter winters, they endured find, bound together, warmed by fire, by kinship, by spirit.
In the long winters, stories became fire, warming the heart, keeping alive the spirit of the Lakota.
With spring came renewal.
Sacred tobacco was planted with prayer, an offering to the spirits, a bond between earth and sky.
Strength, speed, and skill were tested none of. The horse race a celebration of spirit and pride.
Marriage bound not only two hearts, but two families' Tauth, woven together in sacred trust.
In song and dance, they gave thanks for love, for life, for the unbroken circle of the Lakota people.
Across rivers and storms, the Lakota pressed on Tanan, unyielding, carried by the strength of horse and spirit. From river to sky, the Lakota gathered the Creator's gifts, munt, every catch a blessing, every meal a prayer. In small hands, the future took shape, growed, learning the skills that would one day sustain the people. Visions were given form, painted upon the lodge, binding dream and waking life as one.
When the people gathered, their strength was unshakable. Many fires, one nation.
Through trade, the Lakota shared not only goods, but stories, alliances, and lifeblood of the people. In council, leaders carried the burden of war Hakad, every choice bound to the fate of the people. Each mark of paint was a vow, each weapon an oath. Warriors prepared to ride into destiny.
Together they rode, thunder across the plains, each warrior the arm of one great nation.
When nations clashed, the earth shook, the plains echoed with fury, courage, and sacrifice. In victory, they honored not conquest, but survival, the spirit of the Lakota unbroken.
Even in triumph, the people wept, for every victory bore the weight of loss.
To the Creator, they offered thanks for tarts, for strength, for guidance, for the eternal bond with the spirit world.
Through story, the Lakota carried memory, not only of battle, but of the spirit that bound them together.
From the beginning, their story was written upon the plains, a legacy of courage, spirit,